for our full 2025 NFL prediction list. Here it comes. The number one seed in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills, they get a bye. The wild card round of the AFC will feature Raiders and the Chiefs. As much as I like the Raiders' story as a new playoff team coming from the bottom of Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly, they're no match for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs move on. We get the Ravens at the Bengals. Now, this will be a rematch of Week 15, the matchup that would take place in Cincinnati. This will be the third time they play in 7 weeks. And I know generally in division playoff games, the home team has the edge. I actually think there's more pressure on Baltimore in this game. I think making the playoffs and winning the division saves Zach Taylor's job in Cincinnati. I think the Bengals made the playoffs. Or excuse me, I should say the Bengals made the Super Bowl 4 years ago. The Ravens have yet to make the Super Bowl in the Lamar Jackson era. So I think Baltimore wins this game. And I do think the Chargers get revenge on the Texans from a year ago. I think the 5 seed will win. I think the 6 seed will win on the road in the AFC playoffs. Which sets up then the 6 seed Ravens and the number 1 seed Bills. The 5 seed Chargers at the number 2 seed Chiefs. Now, this would be a rematch of Week 1, which will take place in Brazil, and I believe Week 14 or 15 in Kansas City. The Chargers are a warm weather team, but we know they are built in cold weather the way Jim Harbaugh does it. But I think Andy Reid coming off, a win against Vegas. Now they take on another divisional opponent in the Chargers. They will know the Chargers so well. I think Patrick Mahomes takes one more play than Justin Herbert. The Chiefs will advance to the AFC Championship game. And the question will be, whether or not they host Baltimore or they go to Buffalo. And I think once again, the Ravens will get their heart broken by the Bills, who will have an advantage of having 2 weeks to prepare for Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry by getting a first-round bye. And I think we will get the 13-4 Chiefs, the 14-3 Bills, this time being the number 1 seed Buffalo. They get the matchup like they did in 2023 in Buffalo. The final game in Highmark Stadium, there's going to be so much emotion. And I think Buffalo finally does take down the devil off their shoulder. I have the Buffalo Bills making it out of the AFC this year. And again, as I said previously, if it's not when, if it's not now, then when is it? In the NFC, I have the Eagles by virtue of beating the Packers in Week 10, winning the tiebreaker for the number 1 seed at 13-4, which then sets up what would be a first time ever, I believe, maybe besides the 2010 NFC Championship game. Bears-Packers in the playoffs. 7 versus 2 seed. I think it would actually be a rough day for the Bears offense. I don't think they'd be ready. Caleb Williams, the young quarterback, going into that environment in Lambeau. I got the Packers winning that game. It would set up another divisional matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Kyler Murray against the Rams, a rematch of 4 years ago now in that wild card matchup, 5 versus 4. Again, I think the Rams are just a better football team than Arizona, though I think Arizona took strides this year. So I have a lot of division matchups in the wild card round. And then the interesting one is Detroit at Tampa, where Tampa has played Detroit well, especially in Detroit. Remember last year, Week 2, they faced off. They actually played in Detroit again this regular season. I'm going to say the Bucs win there. The Lions get their revenge going to Tampa. The weather's not going to be an issue for Jared Goff going to warm weather. I think the Lions take down Tampa. So that leads us to then the Rams going to Green Bay, which them going out to cold weather the way they did in Philly, I think will be their detriment. And Detroit going to Philly, which again, Jared Goff in cold weather, I don't think is a good thing. So I think we will have a NFC Championship game of the number 2 Green Bay Packers taking on the number 1 seeded Philadelphia Eagles and a matchup of 2 MVP candidates between Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts. And The winner will obviously take on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And as much as it pains me to say it, because my Philadelphia Eagles are going to be at home, I think it's really hard to go back to back. I think Green Bay, who played Philadelphia tough in that wild card round matchup a year ago, I actually think my buddy Alex Wilcox will love this. I think it is the Packers' year. I think we're going to get a Bills Packers small market 1 versus 2 seed Super Bowl. And I think Josh Allen, after winning the MVP a year ago, will finally get over the hump. Josh Allen will bring Buffalo its first Super Bowl championship as they end into their new stadium. The last season in Imar Stadium ends in poetic justice for the Bills as they finally hold the Lombardi Trophy.